Hello, hello, hello. I am Alexis Nelson. I am the founder of BEST, which is Be Exceptional Support Together. And we create awareness through different forums, different events. And Guiding Lights is one of those forums where we want to make sure that we are creating awareness for exceptional communities, individuals. And we do this by bringing on people who are on the journey. We talk about different things that affect our community, and we are so excited about giving back to the exceptional community. Just a few notes before I move on. If this is your first time joining us, again, I'm Alexis Nelson. You can find more out about BEST if you go to bestsupport.org. And if you are an exceptional family member or individual or an agency that provides services to the community and you want to come on Guiding Lights to share your light with others, please reach out to me at info@bestsupport.org. I would love to have you on the show because we want to make sure that we talk about our journeys. There is strength in journeys. And so we are excited about a lot of things that's going on with Best. Not just this show, but we also have a Don't Stare, Just Care walk coming soon. It will be May 18th at Hidden Lake Park. That's May 18th. So I want you all to save the date and I want you to register. The information will be coming your way soon, but this is about community. This is about awareness. This is about unity. And we encourage all those to participate in this awesome, awesome celebration of differences. Again, that's going to be May 18th at Hidden Lake Park. Registration will start that day at 7 a.m., but we will have the link out so you can sign up your teams. You can even get teams, okay? If you want to walk for someone who's in an exceptional community, sign up your team. We are reaching out to excuse me, we're reaching out to organizations, we're reaching out to companies that have the same goals in mind when it comes to assisting our loved ones and the individuals and family in the community. And so we are really, 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 really excited about this. And it's going to be exciting. We're also going to do many other things with Best, but we just want to update you on that. So now we are going to talk about, and this is a very important subject, and I can't get through it all in this segment, but I do want to begin the conversation. And if you're listening to this, if you have any comments or things that you want to say, please make sure you drop your comment in the box. Also, make sure that you share and like. Sharing is caring. Be a guiding light. Let people in on what we're talking about in our community because it's really important. We perish due to lack of knowledge. And this show brings many different voices on to share so we can empower and we can educate not just our community, but all communities. All right. Okay. So in this segment, we're going to embark on a journey to uncover the array of shaming experiences faced by our exceptional individuals in our community, recognizing that each story is unique by examining these various types of shame. I call it um, shaming exceptional individuals and family. It's really not a kind thing, but it happens so often. And this is why I inspire to advocate and educate and facilitate so these barriers, so these stigmas can be broken. All right. So, word shapes perceptions. Words have significant power in shaping public perceptions. Just the terminology that we may use, very derogatory terms such as you a sped or you special ed or you ride the short bus. We've all been guilty of saying things, not really thinking about what are we really saying. Have you ever said, "Oh, you ride the short bus"? Hmm. What does that allude to? What are we speaking to when we say things like that? We know that our exceptional community, they ride on a different bus. And so when you're saying that to someone, it's a derogatory statement. It's not something that's uplifting. And when we continue to have conversations and use language such as that, it encourages others to be comfortable using it. And it's just so simple. It just slips out your mouth. Like, oh God, I'm slow. That happens. What are we saying? And how is that uplifting this community? Because all abilities have feelings too. And this ability does not mean inability. So we have to be careful of the terminology we use and how we use it because it's degrading to this community. So that's what I want to talk about. Words shape perceptions. And not only that, and I want to make sure that I don't miss anything. So I want to make sure I go through as much as I can today. But derogatory terms, they contribute to negative stereotypes, influencing how individuals with exceptional needs are perceived by others. So when you say, "Oh, they slow," they're not gonna understand. Oh, you don't need to even what are you saying? It encourages how people perceive them. I remember, for instance, I went to a bank with one of my clients, and my client is standing next to me. And yes, you may be the payee, but that does not mean the person that you are advocating to have does not have need to be treated with dignity and respect. And so, all because you may assume that they don't know how to do something does not mean that you ignore that they are human. You ignore that this is also their life and it's not okay. And so we have to be careful. So, as an advocate, I will say, count it out to the client, count it out to them. Now, I'm there and I'm making sure everything is okay, but I want him or her to feel respected and they need to be treated the same way that you would treat anyone else. And again, I know some of the organizations and businesses may not mean any harm because they're so used to just moving fast and doing what they do. But every opportunity we get to correct a behavior, we must do that. That is part of advocating because they are human and they have feelings and they need to be addressed. It's like you can't make people invisible. That's not okay. And so highlighting, and this is how derogatory terms affect other people and how they treat those who are in the exceptional community. And this has an impact on their self esteem. There is a correlation between derogatory language and its impact on self esteem with the exceptional community. This is an emotional toll on them. I've had a conversation before with one of my clients, and they really felt that they said stupid. And I said, oh gosh, that is such a harsh word. That is such a harsh word and we have to rephrase things from them. No, we if there's some things that I don't understand and I need someone to explain them to me as well. So it doesn't mean that you're stupid because you ask questions. It doesn't mean that you're stupid because you may learn differently or someone may have to repeat it over and over. But that's no different than you and I. That's no different than everyone. We all need to be taught. We don't know everything. But for you to name call or shame because someone may not get what you're saying in that moment, it's not kind. And so we want to educate people to have patience because that impacts our community self esteem. It really does. So we need to be guiding lights, not the darkness. Barriers to inclusion. The stigmatized language that's being used, it creates barriers to social inclusions. Like people in our community may withdraw from community engagement. If you have an exceptional child, there are some times where you like, I don't even want to be bothered because I don't want to hear what they have to say. My child is stimming, they're staring, they're thinking that they're hurting themselves, they're looking at me like I'm a bad mom. So not only are you shaming the exceptional individual, you're shaming the exceptional parent. So there's so much stigma that comes with, okay, oh, they're going to automatically try to diagnose my child. They have no clue of what's going on. And so it's really important that we recognize that and we address it in the moment, not out of emotion, but just out of an educational purpose. We want to make sure people are aware that this is something that happens so frequently that people become comfortable with it. And so it's barriers there. And so no, we don't feel included because we already have this notion in our head, okay, they're staring, they're pointing, it's too much. And so we want to break that. We want to make people understand that we are a part of this community and we should not be ashamed to be in the community. There are some behaviors that you may see that you may not be comfortable with, but never make someone feel bad because this is something that they may not control. And so we want to really recognize that when these things happen. And that's a barrier when that language is derogatory. So what do we want to do? We want to promote empathy through language. So, like I said earlier, we advocate for respectful language and inclusive language that emphasizes the exceptional individual's abilities. So often we focus on their limitations instead of encouraging their strength. We need to come from a strength base when we're talking about our community. And sometimes we're guilty. Oh, they're not going to be able to do that. Mm-mm. How do you know unless you try? It's just amazing how, but if you're starting to promote empathy by adding language that's conducive for growth, then we will see the differences. And it's going to take everyone to do this. And I know over time, I truly believe that this will help. So we have to make sure that we are promoting empathy through language. And we have to watch what we say too. Oh, they don't understand. Oh, no, they're not going to be able to do that. No, they can do it. And I don't care if it takes a little bit longer, and it may, but that does not negate the fact that disability does not mean inability. And we have to make sure that we create the environment where they feel safe, that they can expand, they can explore, that they can try. Even if they fail, it's okay because there is no, listen, no failure is fatal. And every little step they make towards trying, that's a win. That is a whole win. So we want to make sure that we're promoting that empathy. I can't say that enough because that's really important. Where do we see shaming at? Educational settings and labeling. We have to explore the impact of derogatory labels within the educational environments as well, discussing how inappropriate language can hinder the learning experience. So, can you imagine your child is sitting in a classroom and the teacher keeps saying, "Oh my God, you're so dumb. You're so dumb. You can't even do 2 plus 2. You're so dumb. You're so dumb. You're so dumb." And they're constantly hearing this 365 days of the year. How is that conducive for growth? And so now, because you consider, oh, they're in special ed, and you're not saying it in a positive light, it's like, oh, they special ed. Well, ain't no sense of us trying to teach. No, that is not okay. We have to be careful of what we say. Oh, especially when we're using the IEP. Oh, they got an IEP, or they have a behavior plan. No, this is another form of shaming. And that's why kids really they have trouble sometimes in school because they feel less than. They feel like all my peers are advanced or everybody's talking about me because I'm in this class. And so we really have to be careful with the labels and the derogatory language that we use in the school setting. And this includes teachers. And as teachers, we have to teach our students to be inclusive and to watch their language as well because it hurts. It hurts. And I know we hear sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt. That's not true. Words hurt. And they do understand what you're saying. So, this is something that we want to be mindful of. Another issue, social exclusion and isolation. We have to explore where individuals with exceptional needs may be excluded from social activities or marginalized in community settings. And I talked about that a little bit. What makes it not okay for my child to be able to go to a movie theater and watch a movie? I know she may be nonverbal, but she can still sing. But that may be an issue because people are not used to that. And it's very sad because we are a part of this community and we should be included in whatever we want to be included in as long as it's conducive for our family, right? So we want to promote social inclusion. We are a part of the community. We are the fabric of the community. So I just want to encourage that. And we already talked about educational shaming and body shaming and appearance criticism. We have to recognize how individuals with visible exceptional needs may experience body shaming or criticism regarding their appearance. I can remember a time, this is when my daughter was very young, and her forehead protruded. And she was little, her body was so little, but her head was extended. And someone asked me, and at that time, I was trying to figure out a lot. This was new to me. Um, this was something I was trying to understand in that moment. And when this person said, "What is wrong with your child?" Because her head was protruded. And I was immediately offended because, again, I was still journeying, on this journey of like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I'm usually in control of things. I'm not in control here. What is going on? Right. And so it was like the stares and, ooh, and even just the tone when it was asked. Now, everybody doesn't mean harm, but you do have people who may exaggerate and point out things, and it's hurtful. We have all different sizes and shapes, and we may have a protruded forehead, or we may have really tiny eyes, or we may have limbs missing. However, it is not okay under any circumstance to body shame. It is not okay. And so we have to really make sure we also address that too. We have to address it because it's harmful. It's harmful. There's a psychological impact. People, don't realize how it impacts the community, and not just the child or the adult with exceptional abilities, but the caretaker. The caretaker. That's important. We want to make sure that we are living healthy and we're commuting and we're promoting inclusivity and we are accepting people because it can really damage someone's self-worth, especially if they don't have a foundation. And I'll talk about that a little later. And then the last thing that I would like to speak on is invisible disabilities and misunderstandings. Shedding light on the shaming experience is one thing, but sometimes we have individuals who you may not see. It's not as visible, and there may be some behaviors, and we shame them. We shame them, and it's unfortunate. You should know better. Why are you having a tantrum? Why are you acting out like that? What is wrong with you? Why are you so angry? Why are you doing this? Why are you not socializing with people? There may be invisible abilities that you don't see. And we don't want to shame people or make people feel uneasy or as if they're not a part of or something is wrong with them because you don't understand what's going on. So we want to make sure that we are aware that there are abilities that are invisible, and we have to be careful of our assumptions on how someone is supposed to act, right? And so we want to stop this shaming in this community. There has been some awful, awful things that have been done to our community. And it's unacceptable. And I'm here to expose it because I want us to be educated and advocate so we can facilitate the instruction in the communities that we live in. And this is important. And this is why we do awareness campaigns. This is why we talk about it out loud instead of keeping it behind closed doors. We deal with a lot of different things in the community. And one thing we should not have to deal with is shaming. It has happened to me on many occasions, but I have a strength base and I have a support, and I know how to advocate in a way that will educate. And this is what we have to do in this community. The stairs, and some people are really curious. And so what do? We tell them, we educate them. But there are those who are very rude, and not all people, but we're having this conversation because I want you all to be aware of the shaming that goes on in our community. Never make someone feel less than. If you never look down at someone unless you are putting your hand out to lift them up. And that's just it. That's period. We are to care for those who can't care for themselves. We are to advocate on behalf of those who may not be able to advocate for themselves. Bring resources to them so they can get the support that they need. Encourage them, empower them. This is what we do. And this is what I encourage everyone out there to do. There are so many people out there being mishandled because they don't have an advocate. And if you see it, be a guiding light and shine light in that dark area, because we need people like you. We need guiding lights. We need people to expose darkness, because when that happens, we will see a healthier community. I'm not going to hold you long, but I wanted to talk about those things. I wanted to talk about all those things, and we have to be careful in those areas. So, I want you to be a guiding light, and I want you to do something when you see someone who is not treating someone kindly in our community. What can you do? How can you be a guiding light? Because we need many of them. We need many people out there advocating for this community. And for those moms and dads and caretakers and grandparents out there that may be having a pretty tough day, because our journey is full of twists, turns, jumps, back bends, and karate chops. It is. But I want you to be encouraged that, listen, first, I encourage you to know who your strength comes from. Mine comes from the Almighty God. That's who my strength comes from. I am a firm believer that there is nothing that my God can't do. So when I am feeling overwhelmed, when I have anxiety that does not belong to me, I can cast it all on Him. He will always send resources. And I encourage you out there to get your resources, find your strength. And if you want to know about who I get my strength from, all you have to do is believe, confess. Yes, I have to say it, because there's some people that don't know. They don't know. And in this journey, you need more than a hug. You need a savior. That's what we need, a savior. And if you're out there and you're lost and you're discouraged, because I'm talking to people that are lost, and I'm talking to people that are discouraged, and I'm talking to people that are hurting, and people who want to give up. No, 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 no. Don't give up, because God loves you and He will support. He will be there. He is an everlasting, ever present. He is everywhere, and He is all that you need. He is all that you need. So for those out there who want to know the person that helps me and my family, all you have to do is say, I receive you, Jesus. I believe that you died on the cross and that you rose up from the dead so I can live. I believe that. I give my life to you, because I know that with you, all things are possible. Even the impossible, even the invisible stuff, even the things that you're going through that nobody knows that you're going through, even them days when you sit in a corner and you just cry, all that, you can cast it to Him and He will give you rest, honey. He will give you peace that surpasses understanding. I am not ashamed of my faith, because this faith has kept me strong, and I like to talk about it. And yes, I welcome you to the family if you said that, if you repeated that, because I'm telling you, this walk, this journey will not be the same once you give your life to Christ. So let's be exceptional support together. Let's be a guiding light. Let's share and like. And I want you to continue to join me because I'm going to bring some people on here and they're going to be talking about their journey. And they're going to talk about resources and just be real with you because we all have rough days. And this is what I love about this show. We get to tell our stories. And again, they're strength and stories. And if you're just tuning in or if you've been with me all this time, I want you to continue to like and share. And if you have a journey that you want to share and you are a part of this exceptional community or you provide services for the exceptional community, please, please, please reach out to me at info@bestsupport.org and we will connect as soon as possible. All right, everybody. You all have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me on Guiding Lights, and I look forward to seeing you next Monday. Have a good one.